So welcome to my class. In continuation with Unit 6, we are talking about producer behavior and supply. In this, I'm just going to talk about the shape of the supply curve. We've talked about the supply curve is positively sloped. Higher the price, more the supply. So in that, I think I mentioned that the rising portion of the marginal cost curve is the supply curve. So I'm going to explain that a little here. So look at this. You can see the supply curve upward sloping. We have prices given as P1, P2, 3. So at P1, we have quantity supplied as Q1. At P2, it is Q2. And so with those coordinates, what you get is a positively sloped supply curve. All right. So that means higher the price, more the supply, lower the price. As you come back to it, as you see at a lower price, the supply starts contracting. So contraction and expansion of supply on the same supply curve. That means it is change in quantity supplied. So that's what. And in this, we are going to talk about that the rising portion of MC curve is the supply curve itself. So I want you to have a look at this. Look at this. So this is what we're going to explain, that so the rising portion of MC curve is the supply curve itself. You can see that. So rising how? So the basis of law of supply or supply curve is increasing marginal cost. You can see that in the figure, that MC curve is U-shaped and P1 is the price line under perfect competition. At this price P1, the price line cuts MC curve at 2 points, at Q1A and Q1B. That is, it satisfies the profit maximizing condition, that is, price is equal to marginal cost at two places. So when we were doing producers equilibrium, we talked about the place where marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue, which is equal to average revenue, which is equal to price. That is the point of equilibrium. And another thing was that where the MC curve cuts the AR is equal to MR is equal to price curve from below, not from above. So Q1 will not be the producer's equilibrium. He will not supply so many goods. He will continue to make more goods up. So for him at P1, at that level, Q1B is the place where he'll so many outputs is the equilibrium units of output he will supply. So that's how. So at this price, the quantity supplied is so much. So it now let's take the other point, say P2. So what happens after the price is OP2, the price would supply OQ2 level of output, and at OP3, again let me just reiterate, price under perfect competition, you have what is known as AR is equal to MR is equal to P, because prices are given. So at OP3 level of price, it would supply or produce OQ3 level of output. So we clearly see, and so on, and we clearly see that all price output combinations are simply the point of the rising portion of the marginal cost curve, because it's cutting the price from below. Just make a note of it. So that is how we can conclude that the rising portion of marginal cost curve is a supply curve itself. So this is how it's connected to your marginal cost that we studied earlier. So sometimes you can get say if you say what about the shape, it is positive sloping, and because of the marginal cost, the rising portion of marginal cost, and you can explain that.